Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Thursday, March 21st, 2024. A few days ago, I did a live stream, and I was not able to get to every good question that was put to the cards. We picked and chose as we went, and because I was not watching the chat all the time, I didn't see every question that came up. And I've jotted down several that I thought were worth taking a read on, even if it wasn't during a live stream. One of my viewers had a very interesting question that involved the 34 satanic sites that are around the world. And if that is not familiar to you, hang on. I've got a compilation that'll give you a quick overview of that, or a review if it's something you're familiar with. So let me go to that compilation, and if it interests you, you'll find it in the video description box attached to this video. It's on my Facebook page, which is a link that YouTube allows, which is why I do it this way. Here's a list of the 34 satanic sites. One of them has already been dealt with, actually, and that's number 10, the Georgia Guidestones. I found this list attached to an older article from rumormillnews.com, and the reason I wanted to attach it was besides listing it, here's a reason why I think the Georgia Guidestones have already been dealt with. There is evidence of human sacrifice at the top of them. And it didn't diminish over time with weather, as one would assume if those were normal stains. Here is a picture of the top at 2015. Obviously, a lot of activity has taken place. In 2017, it looked like this. Now, I don't know how they were getting up there, if they were teleporting up or using a portal or a ladder or what have you, but somebody was doing something really, really nefarious on the top of those Georgia Guidestones. And it's been dealt with. So the question my viewer had was very simple. Would there be the rods of God be implemented during a lockdown to deal with some or all of the remaining satanic sites? And that list is by no means a comprehensive list. It is 34 of the major sites that are easily recognized by those of us that are awake and those of us that are not. So I've often had people say, but there's more than that. Yes, there are. This is not a comprehensive list. It is a list of sites, and some of them may surprise people that are still in the process of waking up to find out that a site like the White House is considered a satanic site. So there you have it. What I didn't show you in the compilation when I went to it is I also had a good article that explains what the rods of God are. So there's those two articles attached to that compilation, and enjoy if you care to. If not, let's just go to the universe and ask this question. And it is, will there be a lockdown involved with the time that many or all of the satanic sites on that list are dealt with? Will it happen during a lockdown? Let's see if we get a yes on that, plus then open ourselves up to any other insights or information the universe wants us to know. Okay, so will there be a lockdown involved? So we've been hearing that, that one is being sought by the cabal to happen during our balloting season, just as it was 4 years ago. I don't think they're going to be lucky enough to do that twice. Lucky for them, not for us. But let's see what the universe wants us to know. So when those satanic sites are dealt with, will it be in conjunction with a lockdown? Let's find out. So we've been hearing for quite some time that there may come a time when we are asked to stay home via the Mars system or EAS or EBS. And that is supposed to be a time when the disclosures really happen. And so there are two types of lockdowns. There's the kind that the deep state likes to have to do shenanigans, especially during balloting season. And then there are the ones that the Anon community has been talking about for years, that it may be something to expect to have an emergency broadcasting system that asks you to please stay home. And this would especially happen if there was a martial law situation. But I'm going to leave it open to either one of those options. So that's why I'm just simply asking when some or all of those satanic sites are dealt with, will there be a lockdown involved and other insights and information? Okay, that one now more than once, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to assume it was jumping out with an answer for us. I'll just incorporate those cards back in here and we'll find out in a Kachina knife layout with up to 4 additional cards. I may not pull any, but the universe needs to know that it's a possibility and set the cards up for that eventuality. So we have Page of Cups. We have the Six of Cups, King of Swords, 4 of Cups, lots of cups. And 1 card with the Justice suit indicated here. More cups with the Knight of Cups. More cups with the 8 of Cups. And then we have the 8 of Wands. Okay, I'm going to share with you the insights the cards are giving me. We'll look at some elements in the cards that lead me to say those things and see what we have here. First of all, one of the things that jumped out at me is that there's multiple 8s in this reading. They're all on the near future line as far as insights and information. It's interesting because when you get multiple 8s like this, they indicate a desire to get things done right the first time and kind of a determination element to what you're seeing. So willpower, motivation, and a desire to do things perfectly. So that's telling me just with those elements right there, that when those sites are dealt with, they're going to get it right the first time. That's their objective. It may not include complete removal. It may not. They're going to be different things happen to different sites is kind of what I'm getting from what I'm reading here. Now, let's look at some elements. Our question about this was Page of Cups, and then clarifying our question was the Six of Cups. Both of them are cups. Cups tend to be our emotions. So there are people that love some of those sites that have never been aware of the nefarious elements to them, or that were incorporated sneakily into them. And so that's why the removal of those landmarks could be actually kind of a very emotional process for people, and could make them have a period of mourning, which we know they're going to have that dark night of the soul as they slowly become aware of what they've overlooked, or just in the process of having to focus so much on survival in this complicated world. Politics took a back seat, and parsing out evil and finding out that you've been indoctrinated and not educated. Those are all big revelations that are going to come to people, but it's going to include Page of Cups often has an element of pleasant surprise. So there is that, and this is a card of also giving us a little don't worry, be happy type of thing about the situation as it unfolds. The Six of Cups is a card of reconciliation and reunion. So I'm not getting a hard yes at all that there's going to be any kind of a lockdown involved with the removal or restructuring of those evil sites. I do see that the rods of God are going to play a part in many of the restructuring and removal items. There's going to be a time where some of those sites are going to be off limits for people. That I see it being the sites, not us necessarily per se. And we always have to watch out. The King of Cups, again, our emotion suit, but he can be a little tricky. He can make some false promises and what have you. And I am sure as those sites are dealt with, there's been a lot of effort in the background to get those names off the list or to talk their way out of the consequences of removing this palace or that landmark or what have you. Let's look here again. Recent past, we had the Knight of Swords. So the white hats, this is a justice card, strong white hat card. This is telling me that there is an element of, there are plans by the white hats to deal with these sites again, to do it, get it right the first time. So the will and desire is there. This card always tells us that there's more to the story, and it's not hidden from us. We just need to broaden our view to kind of see it. This is the card that kind of told me, you know, they might not all be destroyed to the ground by the rods of God. It may be possible to move them off their ley lines, some of them, or repurpose them. We'll see as things unfold. It will be done, though, to get it right the first time and to do the best thing as far as cleansing our world from evil or, again, repurposing. Let's get a couple more cards for information. Now, this showed up upside down, and I don't know why. Whenever I get an upside down card, I interpret it as having the original upright meaning, but that energy is a little stuck. So Queen of Cups showed up, but she's a little stuck, and she talks about emotional intelligence and compassion. So we have a determination card here. The White Hats are determined to do this. The Queen being upside down tells us that the energy involved with her is a little bit on hold, but again, emotional intelligence. So it may take people a while to catch up and see the logic of some of these removals and repurposing, but it's going to happen. That's just all there is to it. I'm going to get two more cards. Justice is showing up. No need to explain that one. And Queen of Wands is showing up. So we got Justice showing up majorly, and then with the King of Swords, and then specifically with the Justice card. And coming on top of the 2 8s that say they want to get it right the first time. So I think that's pretty beautiful, personally. The Queen of Wands, what's she doing on here? She's just talking about, she's an optimistic card. So there's no doubt that the plans and the changes that will be made will be positive. They will be good. And if there's an element or something about these landmarks that, again, could be salvaged, could be repurposed, it's going to be judiciously chosen. It may be some structure could be used as a healing center, or who knows? We'll see. There's plans. They're being well made and well thought out and very judiciously, with an eye to removing any possibility of the negative connotations and history and past of those structures. But we don't want to do away with them entirely, because if we forget our past, we repeat our past. So let's recap. One of my viewers was asking about the Satanic Sites, and if at the time that they're dealt with, would that be during a lockdown? And I kept it open because, again, there's two kinds of lockdowns. We have been told in the alt media community that it's highly possible some or many areas are at some point going to have an EBS system that goes off and advises people to stay at home. Or if martial law is instituted, again, that could involve staying home, not quite as voluntarily, but for our safety. And then the deep state likes to have a lockdown so that they can do lots of paper mail-in balloting. So I left it open because I didn't want to look at one possibility when others might apply. So I just simply asked, would a lockdown be part of the element of the removal of some or all of those satanic sites? Did not get a yes on that. We did get a nod to the fact that there is justice involved, with the removal of those sites. It is going to happen, but that they're trying to do it in a very fair and judicious manner. So some of those sites may be repurposed and not removed per se. There may be some that are leveled and become a memorial garden. Excuse me. I'm going to stop the video for a minute and cough. And I'm back. much more easily able to address you. I thought the rods of God were kind of indicated by this determination card, so that there is an element of determination, and the white hats showed up. It will be a white hat action when they are. Again, that list that I have in my compilation is no longer complete. For example, the Georgia Guidestones are gone, and we looked at some bloodstains that actually increased over time, and I think that kind of indicated why they were dealt with before some of the other sites. So to answer my viewer's question, as far as the cards tell me, there's not going to be a lockdown needed or necessarily in process for the removal or repurposing of some of those evil satanic sites. I look for, because again, if we forget our past, we repeat our past, and we don't want to do that. So I think that there's going to be some of those places that become museums, that become teaching centers or healing centers, so that we remember what they were and celebrate what they can become, which is something we should be able to do for ourselves. We can acknowledge what we were and celebrate what we become, because we are the sum of our parts, and we're all working our way towards the light as far as I'm concerned. Some a little more slowly than others. Okay, that's it for this video. Don't bother to send me healing energy, please. If you're one of my viewers that does energy work, I am not in need of healing. It's just I've used my voice a lot today, and I have some vocal cord damage. And when I use my voice a lot, this happens. So I'm fine. I'm not sick. I'm not in any kind of discomfort. I'll drink a hot cup of tea and get a good night's sleep, and I'll be great. So don't worry about me, okay? That's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time, for your attention, and your patience with some rather amateur elements of what I do, and the shenanigans we deal with subscriptions being canceled and notifications not going out. We just need to laugh at it, and you know where to find me, okay? And I'll keep putting out content enough to make it worth your time to do so. Deal? Until next time, if you're willing to receive it, I send you love, light, and wish for you everything bright. Bye.